There are plenty of glove breaking videos on the internet nowadays, but most of those focus on adult gloves. Today, I'm going to show you how to break in a youth glove. And we're going to do it on the A1000, which you guys seem to really like in the last video. To break in a youth glove, you're going to focus on three main things: establishing the break points, stretching the leather, and forming a pocket. Breaking in a youth glove is pretty much the same as breaking in an adult glove. The only difference is that I don't recommend sticking your hand in the glove to break it in. All you're going to need is a mallet or a weight, preferably one that's coated with silicone or rubber, and a baseball. That's fine, you can leave it in. The A1000 as it is actually really easy to close out of the box. Like here it is, pretty much out of the box. I only played catch with it once in a past video. Now, just because this glove is easy to close for me, I'm an adult, doesn't mean that for your youth player it's going to be as easy. I did mention that you shouldn't stick your hand in your kid's glove if you're breaking it in. You can do that, but I would try to refrain from it as much as possible. What you could do later on, after you break in your kid's glove, is to tighten the wrist. And I can show you how to do that at the end of the video. So the first step is you're going to take your mallet or your weight and you're going to establish the break points on the glove. Your glove should have two main break points, especially if you're breaking in a youth glove, because you want to make closing the glove and catching the ball easiest for your youth player. There's going to be one break point here on the thumb side. So you're going to, oh, actually, let me undo these real quick. Yeah, make sure guys undo your knots so that they don't get crushed by the weight. So to establish your thumb break point, all you're going to do is push down and in on the thumb. Make sure these loops are nice and flat so you don't damage them. Take your weight and pound away. Don't be afraid to do it firmly, because this actually doesn't ruin your glove. If anything, it just breaks in the padding that's on the inside of the heel here. So don't just bounce it up and down like that. Make sure you're pressing into the glove, like so. You could also alternate by putting a ball inside the pocket here at the base of the web and the top of this lace right here, pushing that down and mashing. That helps your glove avoid a pancake shape. Now you're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Push down on the pinky side. Make sure you get this entire back, not just this corner here. It's got to go all the way through the fingers here. Push down. You don't need to put a ball in the pocket for this one. And just mash away. I'm not shoving my hand all the way in the glove because a child's hand wouldn't go this far in anyway. So as you can see, it's actually pretty easy to close already. That's also because it's an A1000, super easy to close, but the hinges on the thumb and the pinky side make the glove way easier to close. So that's the first step, done. So now that you have your break points established, we're gonna go ahead and stretch the leather. And there's two ways I like to do this. I simply just pull on the laces like that, here, like this, and I turn the glove inside out. How do I do that? I push down on it, or use my knee like this, and I turn it inside out, and I'll do like this to it to stretch the fibers of the palm side of the leather and the back side. And even though this looks really crazy, it actually really does help stretch out the glove. Do this for about 5 minutes, and then all you have to do is put it back to where it was before. Pound out any creases with your weight or your mallet, like so. And you can go back to stretching the fingers like this, because the point of breaking in a youth glove is to make sure that your youth player can actually just close the glove and make the plays. They don't need to have a perfect form or a perfect shape. If anything, you want your kid's glove to be soft and floppy. All right, so now that you establish your break points, you stretch the leather out, all you have to do now is form the pocket. Now, you might be wondering, how am I gonna form the pocket without playing catch? You don't necessarily have to play catch to form a pocket on a glove. So I'm gonna take my hand, I'm not gonna put it in all the way so I don't stretch out the finger stalls too much. I'm going to take my mallet, hit the pocket, which is around here on the glove. It's not in the web, it's not here on the palm. It's between the web and the top part of the palm right here, there. So I'm gonna hit that and roll it over. Boom, roll over. And that simulates a catching motion, just like that. If you don't have a mallet like this one, you can always just use a baseball. You do this until you feel like the glove is soft enough for your kid. During the break-in process, always make sure to check in with your youth player to make sure that you're making good progress and that the glove actually is soft enough for them to use. All right, so since I showed you how to take these out, I'm gonna show you how to tie them back. It's really simple. All you're doing is taking your rough sides up. You're doing this, turning them around each other, with the rough sides facing each other. It's gonna look like this at first, with a rough side up and a smooth side facing. Twist the smooth side so that you have the rough side facing up. It's gonna look like that, and then you just finish the knot. Like so. I'm gonna do the pinky side as well, just to show you guys. It's a twist. Parents and coaches, it might also help that you tie these extra tight for your youth player so that the glove does fit much better. All right, now we're gonna show you how to do the wrist tightening. I'm gonna show you a super simple way to tighten the wrist on your glove. And this can actually work for any glove. Me personally, when I break in some of my gloves, they actually loosen up over time and I actually have to tighten the wrist. So this can actually be pretty helpful for anybody. So there's 4 holes on the top part of the wrist here. You're gonna go in through this one here or this one. You pull the lace through until it's about like 3 inches of excess, more or less. So like that. Make sure you have your smooth side facing up. There's 4 holes here on this wrist. You're going in through the second one and coming out the third. On these Wilsons, they have like a cool sock kind of thing that the wrist goes into. So make sure you tuck that in once you pull the lace all the way through, like so. Then after you have that, you go in through the top hole here, just like this. Now what you could do is an X by going through this hole down here, coming out this side, and then doing an X over. What you could also do that saves time and lace is by just going through this hole here, like so. Looks like that. And then going through the second and third hole here, and then coming out the top. See if I can get that in one go. Probably can. Like so. And then to tie the knot, it's the same exact way as the pinky and the thumb loop. Rough sides facing each other. Just like that. There's going to be a rough and a smooth. Twist the smooth up so it's both rough, and then finish the knot. And you might notice that this wrist closure is just like the pejorative fit model, so this isn't a wrong way to do it, it's just a different way. So now the glove is actually much tighter and could fit a youth player much better. Try this pejorative fit on right now. Oh, it's so tight that I can't even really close it. Look at that. Wow. It's like easy to close, but because of that closed wrist, super tight wrist, it's harder to close. Wow, that's actually wild, but it's an awesome glove though. The last step in breaking in your glove, and this isn't necessarily to break in the glove, but it's to prolong the life of it. Conditioner, guys. Always condition your glove at least twice a year. Once when you get it brand new, and then once like before or after the season. That's all you really need. You can get one just like this at Charlie Rose. I like to use my hands. I feel like I can just apply it more evenly that way. Take some of my finger, like that, rub some in, and just go to town. That dollop right there should be enough for the palm side of the glove. Make sure you get all sides evenly, and what you could do as well is take like a brush or some sort of towel to get into the nooks and crannies like behind the lace there. Make sure you get the web as well. That's why I like getting them on my hand entirely, because then I can just go like that and it applies it pretty well. And then what I'll do is I'll take a little of my thumb, a little of my index, a little of my middle finger, rub it on my hand like this, and then put the glove on. And that conditions the inside of the glove, which is usually what degrades first in a glove. You can tell how old the glove is based on how new the liner is, because it's usually the first part that cracks from all your sweat. All right, and then we're gonna finish up by doing the back side here, just rubbing that in. You'd be surprised, a small amount of conditioner goes a long way on a glove. And now you're all set for catch. All right, so now we're gonna play some catch. And as you can see, the glove, although it's already pretty easy to close, it's definitely much easier now. It's also much tighter on my hand. I can't really stick my hand in all the way, but for a youth player, this is pretty good. Real nice clap on that as well. All right, we're all set. The A1000 is a really special glove, and Wilson is doing a great job in trying to push these gloves out because they're really good quality compared to the older ones. I'd say they're almost as good as the A2000, if not better in terms of value, especially for younger players. I mean, we have a Serape A1000, which is just like the A2000. And then we have some Super Skin A1000s, which honestly, I don't see why you wouldn't get this glove if you're like 11 or 12 years old. This glove could actually last you through high school if you take good enough care of it, especially if it's Super Skin. As I mentioned before, we got the Pedroia Fit A1000s now, which are really cool. Available at Charlie Rose, guys. So be sure to check us out online or in store. Thanks for watching, guys.